Imagine us being back to raid the DOJ again. Imagine that. Imagine them fumbling the bag immediately.
Immediate.
So, after yesterday's day of transparency shit, which turned out to be a big fucking lie. Largely.
Oh yeah.
Just the incompetence, like, didn't comply with the bill, didn't fully release the files, admitted they didn't fully release the files. They say they still have, thousands of files that are releasing in the next few weeks, and I'm like, huh? So yeah, a lot of that, and just redactions they didn't do correctly and didn't do right, and shouldn't have done at all in a lot of cases. And Asmongold said this really well too. Actually, he mentioned that they've already killed the trust. Like, the thing is that they said, well, there are no more files. There's nothing. It's all a hoax. There's nothing else in there.
My God.
And then they get forced to release the files, and suddenly all they've shown is like, oh, Bill Clinton is in there like 45 million times. Trump doesn't give a shit about Bill Clinton. The Republicans don't give a shit about Bill Clinton. He's a Democrat. They hate him. Why would they not want that out there? Why didn't they release that before? There's literally no excuse. And, like, people went after Donald Trump at one point for implying that Bill Clinton was involved with Epstein. And, like, instead of defending himself by showing proof, he's like, no, the whole thing was a hoax. But there was proof. I'm just like, Now, to be fair, it's just a bunch of pictures of Bill Clinton. We don't know exactly how involved, per se, that he was. There's some pretty damning shit in there, to be fair, but I don't think anybody's really surprised that Clinton's in there. Like, really? Like, I wasn't necessarily expecting to see Michael Jackson in there, but I'm not surprised he's in there either.
Yeah, that was kind of a given.
Yeah, well, because the thing is again, it's like I tempered all expectations, because it's like, I don't know who's going to be in the files. Like, I wasn't expecting to see fucking Chris Tucker in there a couple of times, but he was, and I'm like, okay.
That was a shocker.
Yeah, but you also don't know how involved that was either, because there's only like, I think I saw him in like 2 pictures, and it was like one on a tarmac and one at like a restaurant. That doesn't really mean anything to me.
So maybe he was like, I guess Epstein was a big fan of Rush Hour.
Well, the thing is that, like, Epstein was very, like, he was a socialite. He was always rubbing elbows with famous rich people. So that stuff was just going to be a given. There's going to be a lot of people caught in the crossfire of this Transparency Act. So I'm not really, like, I'm not gonna. That's why I'm not even assuming that Bill Clinton necessarily did anything, because I don't know for sure. Like, the pictures are blacked out, and there's not like. Yeah, they're damning, but there's nothing like in the pictures alone, and we haven't. I don't think people have been able to sift through the files enough to find anything
explicit.
written. Yeah, and that's just it. Is like, there's a lot of CSAM that was censored, because of course it was. It has to be. But as a result, like, because there's a bunch of that, I'm sure there's people committing things in that those censored materials that they aren't releasing, which they shouldn't release to the public, of course, but they should be prosecuting based on that information, because I cannot imagine that there is even a chance that there's that there's not a single person implicated in any of the CSAM stuff that was not released. Like, that would be a very, very unusual thing. I don't like shotgun dozers. Have I mentioned that?
They're they're annoying, but I guess not as bad as like SMG or mini dozers though. Although mini dozers themselves aren't actually that bad because they move so slow.
Yeah, I think shotgun dozers are my least favorite actually of the
Oh, okay.
dozer units. Granted, I haven't fought a Zeal dozer, I don't think. So yeah, no.
Oh, you know what's my least favorite actually? The fucking medic dozers.
Oh, you know, that's fair. Yeah.
We've technically fought those.
Yeah, not fun.
Yeah.
But the shotgun dozers just like half bar you out of nowhere for no reason. It's actually kind of nice. That's why I don't like the shotgun. The shoddy dozers.
Shoddy's like a melody in my head that I can't keep out. But yeah, there's a lot more that's been coming out. But there's also this picture of, God, it's so disturbing. Like you were telling me yesterday, like the pictures of like clearly victims, who are in like, you said like what, school uniforms. They were holding like, what do you call it? Fucking, like backpacks and stuff, like clearly.
Yeah, no, not school uniforms. I saw one image where there was a kid, or what appeared to be, there's somebody with their face blacked out, who appeared to be, you know, shorter, probably young, had a backpack on. Yeah, that was one image that I saw. The actual like really disturbing stuff, like the backpack is already a bit unsettling, but it's almost tame in comparison to some of the other stuff that's like really unsettling. And I haven't seen much of it. I just saw mostly what Asmongold was showing on his stream, which he was, you know, hesitant to go through all of it on stream, which I don't blame him. But there's like clearly very young girls in revealing outfits ish, like sitting in Epstein's lap or being like carried by him.
God.
Like seeing how many people online going through the files have been like, I actually feel like vomiting right now. Because like I don't even think I mentioned this to you. This is one of the other like disturbing things that I just there was a book recovered, I guess, and they scanned the whole book, but there was a book recovered that was Massages for Dummies.
No.
And there was imagery and like a step-by-step tutorial on how to give massages to literal infants.
What?
It's fucking weird. And I mean, it because it's part of some Massages for Dummies thing, it looks like it's a, you know, an official publication that you would find at an average bookstore or whatever. It, like, maybe it's not that damning, but I mean, we know about the massages and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the context, that's fucking terrifying.
That's so gross.
Like I said, doesn't necessarily mean anything, but I mean, it is odd to me that people tried to defend Epstein. I'm not even kidding. Tried to defend Epstein by saying that he wasn't a pedophile.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he wasn't a pedophile because he liked, you know, teenage girls, not not children under the whatever specific age that like pedophilia is defined as, which I don't even know what age it is, but apparently pedophilia is a different term, and there's some other term for people who are into minors that aren't in the age range of pedophilia. I don't understand why we have a distinction. That doesn't seem to matter. Like,
no.
They're minors because they can't give consent either way. It's not about like the age range. Like, that's so weird. And of course there's people that are criticizing the age of consent in the first place. Usually when discussing transitioning, like gender affirming care stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And saying, oh yeah, well, what is consent really, and what, like, does a person magically become capable of giving consent when the day they turn 18? And it's like, this is really creepy territory. Why would you choose this as your hill to die on for trans rights? That's fucking
Yeah,
strange.
that's really fucking weird.
Yeah, no. Oh god, it's so gross. Like, and I will say for the record that no, you do not magically have a different pathology the day that you turn 18. But the law is 18 for consent. That's just what it is. And it's the best we have. And I mean, to be fair, you know, a lot of I think we do avoid a lot of really, like, slippery slopes and bad outcomes by having it at that age and not lower.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I know there's some places in the States and Canada and stuff that have technically a lower age of consent range, but there's usually stipulations involved. And there's places where child marriage is still legal in the States, and, like, with parental consent and stuff like that, which is awful and should be changed, I think. It's archaic, and I'm sure it doesn't get invoked very often, but it is still on the books and shouldn't be. We need to have a good long look at our legislation around protecting children, frankly, across the board. And that's...
Yeah, I mean...
Oh, you have the ticket, that's right.
Oh, I do.
I thought I did. That's weird.
I thought you did too, because I was walking in as soon as the door was opening, so I think it glitched out or something.
Mm-hmm.
That's really weird.
Yeah, no, that shit is cringe. Yeah. Well, and that's one thing is, like, we have this premier here where I live who is pretty much a really bad... Premier is like a governor, by the way, if you're not from Canada. But we have this premier here where I live that's kind of a worthless piece of shit, generally speaking. She doesn't really do anything of value and has actively made the province worse for quite a while now. But she has done one good thing, which was that she made it so that, like, you can't, like, if you're like a trans minor, you can't be in, like, going into the other, like, gender than your biological gender's sport, which I agree with. I mean, maybe not everybody agrees with it, but I agree with it because it's like, we don't have co-ed stuff in schools, like, 1 to 12 or K to 12 school for a reason, and it needs to probably stay that way. I just, like, no.
Yeah, it sucks because, like, I really don't like the feeling that, you know, trans athletes are being excluded from being able to do what they love.
It does suck.
That sucks.
But they would have been excluded from their biological sport because they would never be of the capabilities level to play in their normal sports. I mean, granted, that's male to female. That's different, but
yeah, because you're seeing like a similar thing happen though, where like there was some high school where there was a trans boy who wanted to wrestle with the other cis boys, but couldn't because biologically female. And so parents were mad because he was wrestling with women, you know, and he's on testosterone and everything, and he was wrestling with, you know, the other, like, I guess, biologically female students and was completely demolishing them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you know, he's fighting with his fucking, the other people who are physically female, but it's still not fair.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's just a bad situation for fucking everybody. And I used to feel a bit differently on it, but I think after like watching it, it's just it's not fair for anybody. And I think that's what matters. Oh, sweet.
We have 4 key cards then. It's good.
Oh, fuck yeah. But yeah, it's not fair for anybody involved. And I think that's that's the worst thing about it, is because, one side believes that we're, actively excluding trans people from the conversation and from, from a pretty human experience, which is, participating in sports. Because almost everybody has participated in at least one sport in their life. At least from the first world, I guess. But, and then the other side thinks that, I mean, this is obviously an extreme take, but thinks that this is some, like, conspiracy to make, trans athletes the only athletes in the only athletes to succeed, and think like that people are pretending to be trans in order to get ahead, which I think is a bit of a stretch, but also, like, I mean, intentionally, like, I feel like no trans person is fully transitioning in order to become better at fucking swimming or baseball.
Well, not yeah, I think so. There's a couple of caveats to that, because it like there's, first of all, there's like it seems like a very few people actually go through the full transition, and I don't know if there's even any data on how many transgender athletes specifically have fully transitioned, but I would bet it'd be fairly low. And
that's something I'm wondering about too, honestly.
Yeah, well, and I hate to say this, but this is kind of just a difficult topic in general, and it's difficult for everybody.
Of course.
But I guess I'm just of the mind that there are certain compromises you have to make to live the life that you want to live, right? The life that suits you best. And I think, it, like, I accepted at a pretty young age that as a guy, I'm just not going to be included in female things, because I'm not female.
It's okay, I'll braid your hair, babe.
I've had my hair braided plenty, but that's not.
I know.
That's not a mark of femininity, and you're enforcing gender roles.
You understand the Vikings had braids too, right? Like.
Hi, I'm Ragnar.
Shut up! Oh my god. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, no.
Anyway.
But I understand. Like, there's just certain things I'm not going to be able to be involved in. Kind of like, I would never be allowed to, like, I'm classified as disabled. I'd never be allowed to participate in the Paralympics, because I'm not physically disabled.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of autistic people who are in the. I mean, I guess. I don't know if that would count as like a physical disability, though. I guess depending on like if your motor skill or like,
Well, maybe if you had, and I'm going to use a word here that is archaic and it doesn't get used anymore, I don't think. But there was a term used a while back called retarded depression. I don't have that, but I do know that it was a clinical term at one point for people who had a form of depression that basically reduced their physical and cognitive functioning speeds, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, I am depressed and a little retarded, but
they're separate conditions for you. That's fucked up. You identify as a toaster. Good.
I identify as a retarded toaster.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
Oop, fuck. We gotta go kill Cash Patel over here.
Oh, yep. Cash.
I'm gonna put down a med kit and an ammo bag and go to town.
Oh my god.
Infinite
Tactical retreat?
bottomless fucking grenade launcher. Oh, tactical retreat. That's a Cash Patel kill. Put it up on the board.
Accountability.
There will be
Ooh,
accountability.
Ooh. I almost got schnoit.
Oh, I didn't realize I hadn't reloaded my shotguns yet. Whoops. Okay.
Turn back on the power. Yep. Boom.
And then turn off the power for that one taser.
Yeah. Taser got a fucking power out.
Oh.
Don't you fucking punch me?
But
You can't punch a woman, okay?
you can't ever. There's no reason to ever hit a woman.
But yeah, it's like it's
17 off the top of my head.
just. But yeah, the trans like athlete stuff is it's just a really fucking hard thing to like quantify and to just deal with in general. Like, because it's a bad situation for literally everybody involved. Like, I don't think
it's
the current solutions we have now are going to please anybody. Or
no,
everybody.
and sadly, there's like just straight up not enough trans people for them to have their own leagues.
Yeah.
Because there's very few trans people, and not all of them are into sports, of course. Because like even now, I think the percentage of people in the U.S. that are trans are like less than 1%.
Yeah.
Which is like that's just the way it is, right?
Yeah.
Because the condition is pretty rare. Like you don't like gender dysphoria is not not gender dysphoria is necessarily always the case, but like being trans is a rare condition. It's just a rare state of being that people have. I'm gonna go over here and grab this other key card.
Yeah, and it's difficult too because like being trans nowadays is a lot less black and white. Like a lot of people are choosing now to like they don't feel comfortable going through with like like certain physical like stuff. Like not everybody wants to get like bottom surgery or whatever. Not everybody wants to take hormones and stuff. But then it's like how do you quantify it at that point? Like it's really difficult. Like I saw this one video like from like 10 years ago of this person who said that they were a trans man, but literally like did not dress masculine like at all, did not change anything about their like thing. They're just like, yeah, I'm a dude, I use he him pronouns, but like they still like were very clearly like physically female.
Oh, I got cloakered.
Oh, hold on, let me there you go, nice.
Yeah, he tastes my entire shotgun.
But yeah, and it's like, that was like I'm assuming it was a BuzzFeed video from like 10 plus years ago. And I thought it was just super weird because I'm like, yeah, you can choose to do whatever you want and stuff, but it's like, if you're wanting to live how is this, living as a man if you want to live as a man? Like, it didn't seem like much changed except for their name and pronouns.
Yeah.
And I personally didn't get it.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing is that people who are against trans people using the bathroom for the gender that they identify as are often labeled as transphobic, but the thing is that like people aren't against trans people per se using the other gender bathroom. because they're like, oh well, I'm worried about there being predators or whatever, right? And they're like, but that's transphobic. Trans people aren't predators, and it's like,
we're not calling trans people predators, though.
that's not what they're saying. They're saying
Wow.
that somebody could, because there's no quantification of what denotes someone as being genuinely trans.
Yeah.
And you're not even required to go through like the actual full bottom surgery and everything. Like, you can just say you're trans, even without wearing a dress or doing anything to make yourself look remotely feminine, and just go into a woman's bathroom? That seems super weird.
Yeah. Well, you also have like the other side of this one too, where it's like, you just have like your random, like, run of the mill butch lesbians who are now getting like weird looks when, they're sorry, I'm a butch lesbian. I have short hair. I promise I'm a woman. Look at my boobies.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's this really though. There's this actually this YouTuber that I watch sometimes that makes shorts about being a butch lesbian and stuff, and how
is it Leslie Jones?
No. No. This person's a white woman, but she does this thing where she's like, because she knows that she looks more masculine, so she does these videos where she's like, when I'm walking when I'm walking alone at night and want to make the other girlies feel safe and stuff, and she like, because she knows that she can look kind of intimidating because she looks like a butch lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll walk over and then be like, she'll like, walk over looking serious, turns to the camera, and then like rips open her jacket and it's like baby girl like shirt on it, and like pulls out a lesbian flag and like does a flamboyant ass bow. It's really funny. And like does like a little like a little ballerina movement or something, and then she's like
a little pirouette type beat.
Yeah, no, it's really funny, but it also kind of like sucks that like she feels the need to, because I'm sure there's a kernel of truth in it, where she does feel the need to have to almost be more performative in the fact that she is in fact a woman,
a whammon.
Even though she dresses more like androgynously, or at least I think they might. This person might be not in a binary. I'm not sure, but they make a lot of jokes about them being a lesbian and stuff. So, but another one is like the bathroom thing where she's like just in a public bathroom washing her hands, and like it cuts to like the other character kind of like looking at her side-eyeing and stuff, and then she kind of like she kind of puffs out her chest and she's like and then like spreads open her shins to make it clear that she has boobs. It's really funny.
We have to forget about the law.
We gotta forget about the law.
Oh fuck.
But yeah, it just sucks. That that's just kind of the reality of the world we currently live in right now. But it's like, who knows? Like there might be some like, I feel like there needs to be some kind of medical study on like obviously with willing participants who are like trans and undergoing potentially like just studying trans athletes and seeing what there is to know about like how taking hormones and doing all that kind of stuff, and how that can affect your performance and stuff like that.
I just wish it wasn't considered bigoted to say the simple phrase, men and women are different.
Yeah.
like, because like people be like, gender's a spectrum, and I'm like, I disagree because I consider
Yeah.
gender and sex to be the same thing because they are. Identity is a spectrum,
Yeah.
and it's a huge spectrum. It's way bigger than just gender, and how you present yourself. Masculine wise or feminine wise. There's way more nuance to it than that because humans are just so varied in that
Yeah.
regard. But like if you want to say that gender presentation is a spectrum, certainly, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be your whole identity. It doesn't have to be like, no, this is absolutely what gender I am. Because there's no shame in being a trans person, right? There's no shame in being a trans person. So why wouldn't you make the distinction? If you're proud of who you are, which you should be, as long as you're happy and comfortable and not making anyone else unhappy, right? Or preventing anyone else from being happy or whatever. Like, then why wouldn't you just say, I'm a trans woman, not trans women are women? Just be a trans woman. That's fine. Like, what the fuck is wrong with that? There's no shame attached to that term. Just be what you are. Just don't try to be what someone else is, and don't try to pretend that gender is some separate fucking mythical thing when it's fucking not. It's sex. There are two sexes. There's no spectrum to that. There's defects that we can be born with, certainly, but that's not the norm.
That can certainly complicate things too.
Yeah, well, complicate things, but like, an exception is not the rule, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I got the Frenchie going again.
I was going to start singing the German national anthem. Hey, guy fight. I don't know the actual words to the German national anthem. If you're wondering,
I don't know why.
I took German and we didn't learn that, weirdly. I'm glad we didn't learn that, honestly, because it would have been burned in my brain for the rest of time, and I'm not really keen on that being my life. So. Bad enough I already have Schnee Schna Snappy fucking in my head permanently. Schnee Schna Snappy, das kleine Schnapp Krokodil.
All I know is I don't know.
Okay,
German song. Except for like
Rammstein.
Du hast mich.
Du hast mich gefragt.
Mir ist kalt, so kalt.
Mir ist kalt, so kalt. Mir ist kalt. Okay, well. Do I keep streaming? Maybe go do an art stream or something.
Art stream. I might go back to playing Animal Crossing or playing Rune Factory Frontier. So excited I can play that now. It's such a good game.
Should I should I animate the gnome flossing?
Yes. What? Duh. Come on. Come on, man.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna end the stream. We'll be back tomorrow to raid the DOJ again, and I got more projects in the works, things we're doing, so I'm excited to see where that goes. And we will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in.
Hold them accountable.
Hold them accountable.
Hold them accountable.